welcome to the Wednesday Astounding Readers Book Club. I want to welcome all of you in, and I am setting up my chat right now so I can see the chat. So give me a few minutes. There we go. Hello, Valerie. Hello, Paula. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. So good to see you here. And we should be seeing some of the others. We'll wait a few minutes and give them time to come in. Oh, I hope you all are having a good Wednesday. I know I am. Hello, hello. Snow outside. Stories inside. Let's get started here. Today is January 21st, 2026. My goodness, how time flies. Hello, Deidre. Hello, honey. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I love the winter. I love the snow. Winter, the only thing I don't love is like when it gets bitter cold outside. That's what I don't like. Bitterness, bitter cold. All right, so we have Paula's in the house. Paula's here. Valerie's here. Dee is here. Yes, I got quite a few of them. Oh, you tried to call me twice. Oh, honey, I've had a busy morning. I had to hurry up. That's why I was late coming in. I went and put my cover shirt on again. It was so cold in this room. I had to run and get my cover shirt with the hearts on it. I went and put it back on. I was so cold. All right, who else is in the house today? We have Paula. We have Dee. Oh, myself. I got to put myself in there. I am definitely here. All right. I'll call you after the live, hon. We'll catch up. Yeah, I had a lot of work going on this morning. Yes, I did get your homework, hon. And we have to discuss a few things. So I'm trying to get everyone in the book that has come. We have, let me get I think I put it in this file. I got my list of people. Let's see. There are 8. I want to make sure I have them written down. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in our book. And that is why I left this page blank. Because I'm going to write, so you guys can see, over here we have Paula. All right, and now today is the January 21st, y'all, and the time to get in on the book and the writing is closed. You are more than welcome to join us and join in the discussions, and you can also join in the journaling. but the story itself is now closed as of today. So I am writing closed up here, and it is closed for the book writing. So the people that are on this page right here, and I will go ahead and put your channel name later, are as follows, and of course myself. And we have Paula. Hello, Anna. Hello, Mimi. Okay, let's put Mimi in the box. She is here. And Anna is here. All right, guys. Now, a lot of you are here. Did Shanika come in yet? Is Shanika here? It is very important for those of you who are writing the book. It is very important that you attend every live. Those who are not writing the book, they can come and go and join in the conversation. They can join in even putting their 2 cents in if they so choose, and definitely watch. This is going to be awesome. Today we are reading chapter 3, and we have some different things to do today. So there's myself and Paula, and there is Mimi, and number 4 is Shanika. Now, I do excuse Shanika to the point that she does turn in her homework. She has a job. So if she comes in and out, if you are not working or you're not at work, please be present. It's very important that you hear the story, you hear the questions, and get them done. And number 5 is Dee. And I'm going to put her real name in the book here. And Valerie and Paula, you should be getting your permission contract in the mail soon. So get that filled out and sent back to me. Anna, if you want me to send yours by email, let me know. And we have Anna. For some reason, my pen wants to keep. And Valerie. And number 8. There was 8 of us. Let's see. TZ, Paula, Mimi, Shanika, Deidre, Anna, Valerie, and oh yeah, Dee, I will send you a different one to do, honey. Since you are in Ireland, I'm going to send you a different one. Let me make a note here. Send Dee new form. All right, Dee, I'll send you a new form out. And I feel like I'm missing somebody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see. Shanika, Valerie, Paula, Mimi, Anna. Oh, Ashley. Ashley, Queen Bee. Can someone run over and get Ashley, please? Tell her it's important she attend. I hope if she doesn't come, she can watch the video, because it's very important to be here, guys, because this is basically a serious matter. It's a fun, serious matter. We're going to have a lot of fun. But if you can't take it seriously and you don't think you can do it, today is the day to tell me. This is the day that we are closing out being able to get on board. And as you can see, I have, let's see, not this folder. I have another folder here, and I'm going to get it out. Yeah, I don't want to knock my phone over, so let me get to the page I need right here. Okay. I can leave these in there for right now. Okay, we have our license. I don't know how many of you saw the video this morning. We have our license for that song right there. And that is our official song, and the title, the name is also ours. So here is the commercial license for that. So tell me now, guys, because if you miss too many, hi Shanika. Yeah, if you miss too many, I will have to take your name off the book and go with the people that are taking it seriously. Okay. Congratulations. All right, so the license has been gotten. I have it right here in our folder. And chapter 3 is done. And we are going to go over that in a minute. Let me get out chapter 3. All right. And let me put Shanika in the book. She is here now. And hopefully Ashley... Did I see your comment? Okay, Valerie. Paula doesn't have a way to contact her. All right. Yeah, Mimi, just a yes. Did I send you a form? There's a form for name use form that I thought I sent to everybody. It's name use. You just sign it and send it back. I'll send it to you today. Let me write a note here. Send Mimi form. Because I thought I already sent it, but getting this all together, I had a lot of paperwork to do. And I'm in the process of working. Yes, Mimi, I sure can. I will get that email to you this afternoon. Because those forms have to be, and Shanika, did you get your form too? Your name use form? Okay. So, we're going to go over, I'm going to put this in here, chapter 3 in here, and right now we are going to go over, and I did some pre-editing, y'all. I did a lot of pre-editing on everybody's forms here, and this is my writing, and we are going to start. Now, these are the sentences that are going to go and whatever we say in today's book club. If you put in your search bar, put at Queen Bee's Babies and Stuff. At Queen Bee's Babies and Stuff, it should pull up. It should bring her up. Queen Bee's Babies, the letter N, and the letter N, stuff. I can write it out for y'all if it helps. It's Queen Bee's Babies, the letter N, and stuff. That's her channel name. Queen Bee's Babies and Stuff. Okay, Shanika. I thought I sent you the digital one. When you tap it, does it pull up where you can electronically sign it? Yours might be doing the same thing Dee's is doing. I'm gonna have to, let me get your name here. I'm gonna have to find out why the electronic signature isn't working. So yeah, I got Shanika here, electronic. Okay, I got you down, Shanika. Not coming up on Instagram. Well, hopefully she will join us real quick because she's gonna miss a lot. And it's important that you don't miss. So let's go over the sentences. Now, Anna and Valerie did not turn in their homework. Anna and Valerie, you did not get me your sentence in. So here's another thing that cannot happen, you guys. We are writing a story. We are on a deadline. Yes, we have time. But there is a lot of work to publishing that I have to do on my end. So I can't keep going back to what has been missed. So remember, you must get them into me before Tuesday of the next week. Take 15 minutes, sit down, write your sentence, but make sure it's following in the line of the story we are writing. No, honey, I never got it. I double-checked this morning. You had hope. And I double-checked before I came live, and it was not there. You sent me some journal pictures and another picture that I think I have in here. And then Anna had written me, and I told Anna to go back to the video and she had silence. Anna, you had silence with me. You and I both had to do silence. And Valerie had hope. And Dee had hope. Now here is an excellent sentence, you guys. This is Shanika's. Shanika wrote, "A pale silver of darkness pierced the white snow. A defiant promise of days ahead. From the winter's frozen silence." If you noticed, I put a star right here. Perfect sentence. And I'm going to explain why that is a perfect sentence. Silver of darkness. What does that say to you? Silver of darkness. What does that say? Sliver. I'm sorry. Sliver. Sliver of darkness. I put silver on my paper. S-L-I-V-E-R. Sliver of darkness. That means, to me, okay, honey. Thank you, Valerie. For some reason, I didn't get it, love. It's just a sliver. Just a little sliver. The word pierced stands out. The word pierced tells us it's piercing through the winter. I mean, beautiful. The white snow, which is part of the story. Snow outside. A defiant promise of days ahead. The word defiant, it's defiant of being gentle, being calm. It's a fierce winter. Frozen silence. Frozen silence. You could almost hear the cold in that sentence. You could almost hear the cold from the winter's frozen silence. I love it. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you. Very good, Shanika. You got the gist of chapter 2, and when you turned in your sentence on the snow, and I'm going to mark it, check here, because we went over yours, and it's perfect. Okay, now Paula. Paula had to write about hardship. The man struggled with the shovel as he was trying to shovel the snow, and the woman looked out the window at him, struggling. Very good. I mean, she does put the hardship in there. But here is what we're missing. We want to show the snow as the hardship. So what you could have said is the man struggled with the shovel. You really don't need all this. You don't need the rest of that. He was trying to shovel the snow. Because if he's struggling with the shovel, we already know that he's out in the snow if he's struggling with the shovel. And the woman looked out the window at him struggling. And that also shows the hardship. The woman looked at him out the window, the woman looked out the window at him struggling. Does anyone have any suggestions to help her with the ending? The man struggled with the shovel, comma. And the woman looked out the window at him struggling. Well, we already know he was struggling because it says the man struggled with the shovel. So we don't need the word struggling at the end. So what could she put there? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have her personal one, but I'm not going to put her personal one out there on Instagram. If she's never asked me to, I'm not going to do that. Good, D. All right, D says she wished she could help. She wished she could help. All right, so we have the man struggled with the shovel. As. Get rid of the and. We don't want the and. As the woman looked on. As the woman looked on. Then, she only wished she could help. We all in agreement? Anybody want to put something else in? Let me read it again. The man struggled with the shovel as the woman looked on. She only wished she could help. Everyone give me a thumbs up. All right, Shanika said, which caused much disparity. Very good, Shanika. Okay, which caused, let's see. Wish she could help. Okay, let me, oh, she's retracting it. She's going to write it different. Okay, we'll wait for her. Which caused disparity for her. Yeah, that was good. Okay, let's see. The man struggled with the shovel. As the woman looked on, she only wished she could help. Let's take out which. She could help. It caused much disparity. Very good. So we will take out for her much disparity. And you kind of see, this is why we do this, to help you learn your sentences and how to word them. It's going to be very beneficial as we get on down the line. So, the man struggled with the shovel as the woman looked on. She only wished she could help. It caused much disparity. So not only is she talking about hardship in the sentence, she's also talking about despair. And it really says a lot in just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 words. 19 words. And I'm going to read it again. Everyone give me a thumbs up, and we will move on and give it a check. I'll put a star right here, and let's read it again. The man struggled with the shovel as the woman looked on. She only wished she could help. It caused much disparity. Give me a thumbs up, y'all. We have to have the majority. And so far we got two thumbs up. We will move on. Paula's name is on the bottom, so I got her on here. We got 3 thumbs up. Everybody give me a thumbs up. Anna, Valerie, there she is. Queen Bee, we were getting worried about you, girl. There she is. You'll have to go and watch the beginning real quick. Yes, Paula did very well. I'm proud of her. Yes, her sentence was beautiful. She knew she had what she had the hardship in there. She sure did. All right. Now, our next sentence was Ashley's. All right, I'm going to give Paula a check. And Ashley had settings. So Ashley had settings. The farm lay hushed beneath its blanket of snow, comma, its frosted fields and weathered barns, seeming to watch the man and woman move through the cold, as if the land itself were quietly bearing witness to their story. All right, honey, I will. It's a very good sentence. But let's do some editing. She had the setting silence. So, what I got from her was hushed meaning silence. Okay? So silence was mine and Anna's. So you wanna take out the hushed. The farm lay beneath a blanket of snow, because you don't want to bring silence into your sentence when you have setting. So you want the person reading to see the setting. The farm lay beneath a blanket of snow. You see how that tells you that what the setting is? It's frosted fields and weathered barns. Very good. Weathered barns. Now, seeming, we can take out the word seeming, because right now you got the start of a very good setting. The farm lay beneath a blanket of snow, comma, its frosted fields and weathered barns. And then we will take out watch, because you put that. If you read your whole sentence, it's as if the land itself were quietly bearing witness. So basically you said the same thing twice. So you could shorten your sentence. The farm lay beneath a blanket of snow, its frosted fields and weathered barns. Then you would write set in the cold. Set in the cold, because they are set down in the cold. Your barn is there. If anyone can think of another word, let me know. We're only going with this right now. It's not written in stone right now. set in the cold. So now we want to help her get a sentence at ending as if the land itself were quietly bearing witness to their story. Because it is about them, but we don't want to use the word story. So the farm lay beneath a blanket of snow, comma, its frosted fields and weathered barns set in the cold. A witness to, because we still want to keep it in line of a setting. Okay, Dee, I hope you're listening, honey. This is something we have to work on together. Let's worry about Instagram later. We have to help each other write the sentences and get them in, get them done so we can move on. So far, Ashley has, the farm lay beneath a blanket of snow, its frosted fields and weathered barns set in the cold. A witness. So what would be good? What would be good to make it a setting? Okay, she already, to me, just that alone is good enough. It really is, because it is saying the whole setting. Because let's say I'm a reader and I'm reading, the farm lay beneath a blanket of snow, its frosted fields and weathered barns. So I could see the frost on the fields. I can also see the weathered barns set in the cold, which tells me it's bitter cold. And so I think we should leave it at that. It doesn't really need to bear witness, because by the beginning of the sentence, we already know that it's set in a blanket of snow, and the fields are frosted, and the barns are weathered. Or the barn is weathered. So the farm lay beneath a blanket of snow. So that tells us that there's a lot of snow on the ground. It's laying beneath a blanket of snow, comma, it's frosted fields and weathered barn set in the cold. So that gives us a great idea of the whole setting on the farm. Yes, witness to telling the story. Exactly. The farm lay beneath a blanket of snow, its frosted fields and weathered barn set in the cold. Set, I put sit. Barn set in the cold. Now they, hey, when it goes to the editor, it might get totally edited. We're only doing this amongst ourselves right now. We'll just have to wait until we turn it in. Sounds good. Everybody give me a thumbs up for Ashley if we're going to leave it as it is. Ashley, did that help you understand the setting better? You did a wonderful job, but does it help you understand what the setting is? Yes, we got the thumbs up. Okay, we have Mia. Mia had memory. Mimi had memory. All right, her sentence was, sitting by the fire with a cozy blanket on remembering childhood days, playing with cousins in the snow. Okay, can anyone tell me where Mimi went off the rails. Anybody? Let me read it again. Sitting by the fire with a cozy blanket, on remembering childhood days playing with the cousins in the snow. Can anybody tell me where she went off the rails? It's going to benefit you too, so try to think about the sentence. Sitting by the fire with a cozy blanket on remembering childhood days. Are we writing a story about their childhood? Right, Queen Bee, right. So this, Mimi Hun, is where you went off the rails, because the story is about a bitter winter. So you want the couple's memory to go back to before the bitter winter, before the hardship. So you want the memory to go in that direction. If you were having a bitter winter, you're not going to sit and think, oh, I wished I was back in my childhood. No, you got to remember, in the first 2 chapters, there is silence between the man and woman. They speak without words. So when we get to chapter 2, there is silence between them. So sitting by the fire, All right, y'all, let's put your 2 cents in. Yes, Dee said the man's not in it. And Ashley said the story's about the couple. Right. Thank you for the love, y'all. Yes, this is really going to help you guys. And I think you're all doing wonderful. Don't get me wrong. You all are doing wonderful. I love your sentences. But I'm helping you to bring some of your sentences back to the story. Remembering what it used to be before the snow. Yes, Grandma Paula K. Very correct. So let's help her out here. Let's help her out, you guys. Sitting by the fire, the woman grabbed, and we can change it. I'm just writing it off the top of my head. The woman grabbed her blanket. Stung by the bitter cold of winter. Okay, let's see how that sounds. Shanika said, good, Paula. Yes, thank you, Shanika. That is good, Paula. Sitting by the fire, comma. The woman grabbed her blanket. Let's see. Sitting by the fire, the woman grabbed her blanket. Stung, I think. Yep, we're going to leave that open. It doesn't need a comma. Sitting by the fire, comma. The woman grabbed her blanket, stung by the bitter cold of winter. She could only imagine. All right, that's how far I'm going to take you. Thank you. You guys, give me a sentence or a short few words wishing she didn't have to struggle alone. Okay, Dee, that's good, but is she struggling alone? I don't think she's alone. She has a husband. So we know she's not alone. Sitting by the fire, comma, the woman grabbed her blanket, stung by the bitter cold of the winter. She could only imagine. And I don't like the word imagine. Why don't I like the word imagine? Can anybody tell me why I don't like the word imagine that I just wrote? Because she's not imagining. She is going back to a memory. So the word imagine does not work in this sentence. We're no imagining here. So, sitting by the fire, comma, the woman grabbed her blanket, stung by the bitter cold of winter. Period. She could think about the first part of the sentence. Now think about what you would say. Let's put it this way. If you were telling a friend about yourself and you came in and you sat by the fire and you grabbed your blanket and you had that sting of the bitter cold winter, you would pull the blanket around you, and then you would say to your friend what you were remembering before the bitter winter. Does that help? I hope that helps y'all. So pretend it's you, and you are sitting with a friend, and you felt the sting of the bitter cold of winter. She could, or whatever words you want. Think about what you would say. So let me think about it too. Let me think. Sitting by the fire, comma, the woman grabbed her blanket, stung by the bitter cold of winter. Hello, Oyo. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome to the club. Very good, D. Okay, D said she could only remember snuggling up to her husband. Okay, now we also have Ashley, who said she could remember when she didn't have a care in the world. She could remember not a care in the world. Very good. Anybody else? You didn't mean to write struggle. Okay, honey. Everyone says hello, Oil. Thank you for coming into the club. And Shanika says, wrap my memory around the warmth of the past. Wrap my memory around the warmth of the past. So, very good. Mimi, we have several here sentences to help you. Sitting by the fire, comma. The woman grabbed her blanket, stung by the bitter cold of winter. She could only imagine snuggling up to her husband. Okay, now let's take the next one. Stung by the bitter cold of winter. She could remember of not a care in the world. Okay, now the third one. Stung by the bitter cold of winter. She could wrap her memories around the warmth of the past. And I like them all. I think they all would work. So, I am going, let's see. Remember, she does miss her husband. I'm sure it's been a bitter, harsh winter, and she misses her husband. Um, and then before the bitter winter, they probably didn't have a care in the world. Life was good, and the farm was running smoothly. The animals were fed and happy. So, yeah, that could be another good one. And then also, since it is about memories, she could only wrap her memories. She could only wrap her memories around the warmth of the past. Are we in agreement? Yes, I like them all, but let's go with this one. I'm going to read it again. Make sure you all give me a thumbs up. Sitting by the fire, the woman grabbed her blanket, stung by the bitter cold of winter. She could only wrap her memories around the warmth of the past. I love it because not only is it telling us that she's feeling the hardship of the bitter winter, she is also wrapping her mind around the warmth of the past, not meaning the warmth outside, the warmth of the past on the farm with her husband and how things were running so smoothly. It really says a lot about a memory. All right, we are in agreement. This is the one we are going with. All right. And last, we had D's. D was about hope. And then mine. We'll do mine last. So D had hope. The snow continued to cry from heaven, and she stole a quick glance at his face, and inside her heart jumped because he was looking at her with a very small smile just beginning to dance up his face for her, and she decided to take it as a hopeful sign. Now, I kind of edited this for you, D, to make the words flow. The snow continued to fall. The snow continued to fall. That is telling us the snow is still coming down in the bitter winter. And we don't need to know where it's coming from in the story because we already know. And we have a long way to go. So we are going to go with the snow continued to fall. Let me see what I wrote here. Now, how you want to keep your readers interested, you kind of want to turn it to a question. Yes, it does sound great, but let's turn it around to, we already know where it's falling from. The snow continued to fall as, not and, as she stole a quick glance at him. We don't need to describe his face because if they are sitting in the room together, there's only two of them. So we already know who she's stealing a glance at. It would be him, her husband. He's the only one in the room. As she stole a quick glance at him. And we are going to take out inside her heart jumped because he was looking at her. Now this is where we can turn it around, okay? The snow continued to fall, comma, as she stole a quick glance at him. His gaze returned. So now we know that they're looking at each other. Just a hint of a smile. Just a hint of a smile beginning. So now we know she's looking at her husband with just a hint of a smile. Now, here's where you want to put the clinger in there for the readers. A sign of hope, maybe. So you put a period. A sign of hope. Now, let's go back to chapter 1 and 2. They're not talking. So that's why it's very important when you guys do your sentence to go back to chapter 1, read it. Go back to chapter 2, read it. Because it is really going to help you to get that idea in your head about the sentence. So in chapter 1, they were separate but together. Chapter 2, they weren't speaking. So here they are in this chapter. Now this is going into chapter 4. The snow continued to fall, which tells us it's still really bad outside. The snow continued to fall as she stole a quick glance at him. His gaze returned. Just a hint of a smile beginning. A sign of hope, maybe? So this is her saying to him, to herself, is there hope here? And Paula says, a peck on the cheek. Oh, that would be nice. But they're not that far yet. They're not that far in the story. You got to go back to chapters 1 and 2 and how distant they are right now. They're speaking without words. It's been a bitter, hard winter. They're tired. They're frustrated. So you have to think on those lines. Plus, not only are they tired and frustrated, there's something out there. If we go back to Shanika's sentence and chapter 2, and Shanika caught it very well, the pale sliver of darkness pierced the white snow, a defiant promise of days ahead from the winter's frozen silence. It kind of draws you into the story. It draws you into that chapter. Because now you got to remember, when she gazes at him, let's go to Dee's story. So, and you don't need each other when you're writing your sentences at this point because you got chapter 1 and chapter 2. So go back to chapter 2 in your reading. Then you would realize when the snow continued to fall as she stole a quick glance at him. Now that tells us they're inside. The silence is still there. The silence is bigger than ever. But she steals the glance at him. His gaze returned. And it should say with. His gaze returned with just a hint of a smile beginning. Comma. Because we want that comma to let the readers know that there's just a little bit more. A sign of hope. Maybe. So she has that hope. The chapters are very short. Shouldn't they? Oh, honey. Hang in there, Queen Bee. Don't get ahead of yourself. They're short, but in a book, they're not going to be so short. Be patient, dear friend. Be patient. You can wonder. Thank you for your question. Let's vote on this sentence unless you have anything else to add. The snow continued to fall, comma, as she stole a quick glance at him. His gaze returned, comma, with just a hint of a smile beginning. A sign of hope, maybe? Give me the thumbs up, guys. Are we going? Deidre, give me the thumbs up. And this was D's. So we are moving on. All right. And that is our sentences. You all did extremely well. And you all get an A+, because for not, like several of you told me, you don't know how to write. Hey, you did very well. Give yourselves an A+, because I think all of you did a phenomenal job on your sentences. You really, really did. And I love them. So it's about growing and learning. So you all get an A+ from me. So let's move on to Chapter 3. Oh, I put it in the book, didn't I? Here we are. Now, you guys tell me when you hear the sentence that you had last week. Chapter 3. And you see, each time they get a little bit longer. So, back to Ashley's question, which was a good, valid question, by the way. Kudos to you, honey. That is a valid question, and you will see it grows longer and longer, and we have many, many more to go. Movement entered their days, not through sudden action, but as restlessness that refused to settle. Deep in winter, the memory of laughter returned without warning, echoing as sharply as wind cutting across the snow. The man worked faster now, though with less certainty, his tasks driven more by unease than necessity. As he crossed the field, a sudden swirl of white powder rose and twisted before him, and he stepped back, startled by how quickly the land could change its shape. The woman felt the shift as well, a tightening in the quiet, a sense that the stillness was no longer empty, but watchful. Together, they stood at the edge of the field, staring into the blankness. The man thought of life before the snow, and without meaning to, felt warmth and wetness on his cheek. Snow continued to fall, yet it no longer softened the land. It concealed. Paths disappeared overnight. The familiar shapes blurred at their edges. Each morning carried the question of what might be different, what might be missing, and what might be newly revealed. Hardship stripped away what was fragile, forcing change that reshaped not only how they survived, but who they were becoming. He chopped wood while she carried it inside, stacking it beside the fireplace. The silence between them felt sharp and unrelenting. Yet, somewhere beyond their doubt, tomorrow still seemed possible. As snow blanketed the farm in the quiet, the land bore witness to their routines, their boots crunching through the frost, their breath rising in the cold, and later, their rosy, stoic faces by the fire. Each movement a quiet act of resilience against the season's chill. Whatever waited was no longer content to remain unseen. The winter held its breath, and so did they. Well, yeah. How many of you recognized your sentence as well as it being put into the chapter? How awesome is that? Now, let's get out our work for chapter 3 here. And I will ask you some quick questions. If any of you, thank you, Shanika. Ashley said she loves it. I hear my sentence and my extra word. Yes. That's good. Good. We're all in agreement. We love the chapter. Okay. Let me get out chapter 1 and 2 because I have questions here. So I want to make sure I have 1 and 2 with me also. Let me put this. I think I stuck them in here. Nope, I put them in here. Okay, here's 1 and here's 2. Okay, so now I got chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. Just in case we have to go back to them. All right, so the first question is, how does restlessness show up in this chapter, even when nothing dramatic is happening? How does restlessness show up in this chapter, even when nothing dramatic is happening? So, chapter 3 is telling us what is happening during this bitter cold winter. But how does it show up? How does the restlessness show up in this chapter without nothing dramatic telling us that it is? Feeling inside? Too quiet? Good answers. Good answers. Right up here, the woman felt the shift as well. A tightening in the quiet. That's what Deidre said. And too quiet. And Queen Bee also, silence. Right. It kind of tells us that there is restlessness without any action being said. Together they stood at the edge of the field, staring into blankness. The man thought of life before the snow. How cool is that? Yes, too quiet. Very good. All right, number 2. What role does memory play in increasing the tension of the story? What role does memory play in increasing the tension of the story? Because we know there's something out there. It's a bitter, bad winter. So that takes us back to, let's go back to Mimi's. Let's go back to Mimi's. Hers was at the end here. Memory. I want Mimi's. Here it is. Let's go back to Mimi's. Sitting by the fire, the woman grabbed her blanket, stung by the bitter cold of winter. She can only remember snuggling up. Oh, nope, we didn't use that one. Sorry. Sitting by the fire, the woman grabbed her blanket, stung by the bitter cold of winter. She could only wrap her memories around the warmth of the past. So, what role does memory play in increasing the tension? That they could tell the quiet in the air, waiting for the snow to end. Very good. They are thinking of the positive times before the bitter cold. Very good answers, y'all. Yes. It plays a big role in increasing the tension because they are remembering what life was before this very harsh winter. So we know now yes, it does make them feel sad. And Paula said, all the thoughts. Yes, yes. And what I want you guys to do, go back and answer some of these. I'm only going to do a few this morning because we have to get our homework and everything this afternoon. So answer them, because I can even send this to y'all. If you want to answer all of them, it's really going to help you in your writing. It really will. How does the snow change from something familiar to something unsettling? Wow, how does the snow change? Well, all right, let's go to chapter 1. Winter arrived early and stayed late, settling over the homestead like a held breath. All right, now let's go to chapter 2. As winter deepened, small changes began to take hold, almost unnoticed at first. The days no longer felt entirely the same, though nothing obvious had shifted. The man lingered longer in the doorway. That was a typo. In the doorway before stepping outside. The woman paused at the window, watching how the snow fell differently each morning. There was a sense of unspoken but present, that something was waiting. So that takes us back. How does the snow change from something familiar to unsettling? Yes, it gets heavier. Yes, it is, Valerie. Very much so. I said that from the beginning. Y'all are doing a phenomenal job. Okay, I'll give you the whole sheet, Paula. Yeah, just email me and I'll send it to you. So how the snow changes, well, we know that winter stayed late from chapter 1. It arrived like normal, but it changed. It changed. And as it deepened, they could notice the small changes, unnoticed at first. But then it lingered longer. And it seemed to fall differently every day. They didn't speak it out loud. They didn't say it to each other. But it felt like something was waiting. Not in the distance, but very, very close. So that's how a familiar snow, winter comes, it's the norm, but all of a sudden, through words, it changes. It becomes unsettling. So that is a very good question you could ask yourself and write it out, because it will help you in your future homework. What moments in this chapter, now we're talking about chapter 3. We're talking about chapter 3 now. What moments in this chapter feel the most emotionally charged, even without a dialogue? And a dialogue between the man and the woman, so there's none. But what moments in this chapter feel the most emotionally charged? Anybody? Yes, very good, Ashley. It did create distance between the couple. But in the second paragraph here, the woman felt the shift. She felt it, a tightening, a sense that stillness was no longer empty. So the two are at the edge of the field, staring into blankness. And that tells you of the emotionally charged moment. If you are standing with your husband at the edge of the field, looking into an empty blankness, nothing but white snow coming at you, it's snowing hard, it's a bitter winter, but you feel a shift. And you all know what I'm talking about when I say it's a feeling, a tightening, and they can feel it. It was a sense that the stillness was no longer empty. How awesome is that? It tells you how emotionally charged that section is without any dialogue between the couple. All right, let's go to 5. How does silence function between the couple? Does it connect them or distance them or both? Anybody care to gander? When they were looking at each other, that's good too, D, that's good. The look exchange between them? No, that's chapter 4. That's good, Ashley, but that's the next chapter. That was the sentences from today. That you can feel the roughness in the air. Yeah, that's another good answer. Mimi said distance. Very good. How does silence function between the couple? Does it connect them or distance them? Now, Mimi said distance, or you could say both. Now, I think I choose to say both because in the first chapter, as the winter deepened, let me find it real quick. The man lingered in the doorway before stepping outside. The woman paused at the window, watching how the snow fell differently each morning. There was a sense, unspoken but present, that something was waiting, not in the distance but close, woven in the ordinary rhythm of their days. The cold still ruled the land, yet beneath it stirred a quiet awareness that even in the most settled silence. So this right here tells us, even in the most settled silence, there is no talking between them. It is silence, so it's distance. Then we get to this chapter, and it says here, the woman felt the shift as well, a tightening in the quiet, a sense that the stillness was no longer empty but watchful. Together, they stood at the edge of the field, staring into the blankness. The man thought of life before the snow, and without meaning to, felt warmth and wetness on his cheek. So they were together. So it's kind of both. There is distance between them, but there is also moments of closeness. So I'm going to answer both on that one. Anybody else want to answer both? We have distance, distance, distance. And so Shanika says, so you are saying the silence didn't break the connection. No, I think their connection is still there. If you reread the 2 chapters, I believe their connection is still there. Because if it wasn't, they wouldn't be standing at the field together. She wouldn't have been watching him through the window, watching him, where does it say he was? Let me find it real quick, y'all. I'm going to find it real quick. As the snow blanketed the farm in the quiet, the land bore witness to their routines, their boots crunching through frost, their breath rising in cold. So yeah, they're together here. No words, just silence, but together. Yes, both make sense. Very good. Yes, they are. There is that connection between them. They're always going to have the connection, but yet some of the connection has broke off because, yes, that's basically, yes, the connection is there. They're man and wife. They're married. It's a bitter winter, and they still are together but distant. So both is a very good answer, yes. All right. That's stop at number 6. And if you do want the rest of the questions to help you in your writing, go ahead and email me and I will send them to you. All right, y'all, here we have it. 6 voices, which we have 8. There are 8 of us in writing. So, but this is 6 voices. We originally had 6, but now we have 8, and it is closed. You are more than welcome to join us in the book club and participate in the journals when we do the journals, and you can participate in answering the questions, but just not in writing. That was closed today, so we can't have anyone in. And I showed you guys the license for the what I put up today, so that is ours, and the name is ours. All right, let's move on. 6 voices, the one who waits. And I'm going to read them before I give you your homework, y'all. Number 1 is the one who waits. Number 2, the one who works. Number 3, the one who remembers. Number 4, the one who watches. Number 5, the one who fears. And number 6, the one who hopes. So, let's start with, and here's my paper. I'm going to go ahead and I will tell you what your sentence is about. And I am going to give, now here is the permission slip. I meant to show that earlier. Here is the name, use, permission, and consent form. You must be 18 years and older, and fill this out. I'll fill the top. You just fill out participant information, any pen name that you want to use. You must sign it, date it, and don't worry about minors because we don't have minors in this book club. So you will just sign it and date it and get it back to me. And I will check on the electronic to find out why it is not pulling up for y'all. Okay, I'm going to give Shanika the one who waits. Shanika, you get the one who waits. And here is what it's about. Write from the voice of someone waiting for change, news, or return. So in our story, you will write from the man or the woman, whichever one you want to write from. So you are going to write the voice of someone waiting for change, news, or return. And that is either the man waiting or the woman, whichever one you choose. Okay, now we have the one who works. The one who works. Let's give that one to Paula. Paula, you will write the one who works. You're going to write from the voice of someone surviving winter through routine and labor. So you will choose the man or the woman. And you can see how we're going to have a variety. There are 8 of us, so you're going to see how the variety is going to really work here. All right, so Paula, the one who works. Write from the voice of someone surviving winter through routine and labor. Now, when you're answering your questions, y'all, when you're doing this, please go back to chapters 1, 2, and 3 and read them again. And it will give you the knowledge for your sentence that you will need. All right, so let's go to the one who remembers. The one, and I'm going to give that one to Dee and Valerie. Dee and Valerie, you will write about the one who remembers. And what you're going to write about is write from the voice of someone haunted or comforted by memory. Write from the voice of someone haunted or comforted by memory. And it will be the man or the woman. You will choose which one that you are going to write the voice from. Him or her. Write the voice of someone haunted or comforted by memory. All right, now, let's see. Mimi. Let's give Mimi the one who watches. Mimi, you are going to do the one who watches. Write from the voice of someone observing rather than acting. So you are going to write from the man or woman of someone who is observing rather than acting. And Valerie, Valerie does the first one. Mimi and Anna. Mimi and Anna, you will do the one who watches. This is Mimi and Anna. Write from the voice of someone observing rather than acting. You will pick the man or the woman. All right, now we have the one who fears. And I am going to give that one to Ashley. Ashley, you are going to write the one who fears. Write from the voice of someone unsettled by the silence, weather, or the unknown. Now, if you look back at the stories, we have weather, we have the silence, and we have the sliver by Little Miss Shanika, the sliver of something. So you could either put them all three in or choose one. That's up to you. But write from the one who fears, the voice of someone unsettled by the silence, the weather, or the unknown. All three or just one. It's up to you. And that leaves me, the one who hopes. Yay! And I hope we have a bestseller. That's what I hope. Ding, 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 ding. All right. TZ, the one who hopes. Write from the voice of someone who still believes spring is possible. Write from the voice of someone who still believes spring is possible, man or woman. And I can't wait to see your sentences and how each perspective is going to be in this chapter, because that's why you want to choose the man or the woman. Now, just like up here for Shanika, if Shanika wants to put in her sentence the voice of someone waiting for change, news, or return, she can do all three in her sentence, as long as it's the man or the woman. If she wants to use all three, I would be happy to see that. Same with the one who works, routine and labor. The one who remembers, haunted or comforted. You could have one part of the sentence be haunted and the other comforted. You can put the two in a dual sentence. That would be awesome. And don't be afraid to ask for help, y'all. If you need help, just shoot me an email and tell me what you're stuck on, and I will be glad to help you. That's what I'm here for, guys. Write the voice of someone observing rather than acting. I really love the one who watches. I wished I would have got that one. I would have loved to have that one. The one who fears. Also, you could choose unknown, silence, or weather. And, of course, mine, I only have one who believes Spring is possible. And these are all awesome, you guys. I cannot wait to see your sentences. And that is our book club today. You all are doing a wonderful job. Pat yourselves on the back. I love the 3 chapters. I can't wait to see how chapter 4 is put together. So we are going to see that next week. And we are going to do some of our journaling next week. We are going to take a mini break and work on some journaling, because in all work, you got to have a little play, y'all. We got to have some play. So we are going to see how chapter 4 turns out, and we are going to play. Thank you, Anna. Yes, Ashley said she got it. Good job. Thank you, Ashley. You all are so sweet. Any questions, let me know, y'all. It's a beautiful 3 chapters. You're all doing phenomenally. And I hope you liked the video I put out of us today. Enjoy it. It's you guys and myself, and we are having a ball together. And for my watchers, thank you for coming in and enjoying the book club, enjoying what we're doing, listening to the story. And we appreciate you so much. And give me a big like, y'all. Give the writers a like. They're all doing good. There are 8 of them. You will see them in the video that was put up this morning. Awesome job. And if you're not part of the family, hit that subscribe button right down there on the right and join us. Okay, yeah, Shanika, you're going to love it. You are going to love it, girl. All right, y'all. You have an awesome Wednesday night, and I will see you tomorrow in the fairy garden.